What is happening, guys and dolls? Joe Badger here, your money mentor, where we have deep pockets and short arms, and where I help you with my nearly 40 years of experience with investing, business, and finance, because money never sleeps. And boy, because of that, don't we love to just make extra money on the side? I mean, whether it's for the long term, like a couple of years and establishing a mini business, or whether it's just temporary and we are getting extra money, some beer money, some extra cheddar to spend on something, or to save up, or to just pay off some debts and to make ends meet. But I have the secrets for you today and some great ways to do just that. And I want you also to stick around to the end, because we have a bonus where you can actually double and triple some of your extra money that you earn. And when I talk about extra money, I'm talking about anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month. So we're talking about some good money on the side to do the things, whatever it is you want to do. So let's get into it. A big secret to making extra money is to help other people move. Now, I'm not talking in terms of a big U-Haul company or a large major mover. I'm talking about in terms of, if you have a car, if you have a truck, you can help somebody move. If you are an able-bodied person, if you have decent strength, you can help somebody move by carrying boxes, putting things in your trunk of your car or in your back seat, or just moving furniture around the house, whether it's from the old place or to the new place. There are also a lot of solo movers. Some people are by themselves in apartments and they just need a little bit of help. And this would be kind of a weekend gig. And I think that you can realistically make anywhere from $500 to $800 a month doing this, especially if you're just doing it on the weekends. And what you are is you are the alternative to the large, very expensive moving companies like the U-Hauls and companies like that, because right there, those are thousands and thousands of dollars if you ever moved before. But if you're helping somebody move on a minor level and you're putting out the word, you have to market yourself. You're going to be putting out the word through Facebook, through flyers, through telling friends and family. And friends and family may or may not be your customers, but they are going to also get the word out. And all you do is tell people, hey, I'm just trying to make a little extra money, and everybody can relate to that. So helping somebody move, especially a solo mover, or helping somebody move if it's mainly just a smaller move, let's say they're moving just about a half an hour or 45 minutes away. That's ideal. You're not moving across town or out of state, but you're helping them pack up, you're helping them unpack, you're helping them maybe carrying something that's a little heavier than they can handle, or just an extra person makes a big deal. So moving, helping somebody move on the weekends or otherwise is a great way to make extra money. House sitting and dog sitting or pet sitting is another excellent way to make extra money. Now, your target customer here is going to be twofold. They're going to be people who go on vacation and need somebody to watch the house and take care of the house, or they're going to be traveling business people who are regularly out of the house throughout the month, and they need someone to watch over the house or take care of the pets or water the plants or what have you. Now, you can make a lot of extra money besides the actual house sitting and pet sitting through add-ons. And what I mean by add-ons are extra little services that you can do and perform while you're there anyway. And here's a key, and I can't stress this enough. Do not do these extra services for free. For example, let's say you make an agreement to do a house sitting and you are there for a week. And the person says, hey, by the way, while you're there, can you do this for me? Can you clean this room for me? Can you straighten this up? Can you go into the garage? Can you groom the dog? Can you take care of the pet? These are all add-ons and extras. The last thing you want to do is say, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'm there anyway, right? And they're paying me. And these are nice people. No, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and type out or write out the exact different add-ons and prices that you can do for someone while you are there. So let's say the scenario is you are watching somebody's house for the weekend and you already have made a deal with them and you've decided the price and you're about to sit and you present them with a piece of paper and you say, hey, here are a bunch of add-on services that I can do for you while you are away. And whatever those are, you're going to have to figure those out, especially the more you do this, the more you'll figure those out. But they could be something like pet grooming. If a customer wanted to take their pet to the pet grooming place, it could be as much as $100. So if you offer them $30 or $50, whatever it is, whatever you think is a good price, these add-ons can make you a lot of extra money in the end. So prepare a list, make sure that you can offer these extra services to bump up your extra earnings just a little bit more. Did you know that you can make a lot of extra money through delivering scrap metal to the scrap yards? That's basically just picking up people's trash and taking it to the scrapyard for them. I have a friend of mine in the neighborhood, and he has a regular 40-hour-a-week job, and he works second shift, but he happens to have a small Toyota truck. So he goes around and just really on his free time, and he picks up some larger scraps of metal, and he takes them to the scrapyard. He makes over $100 a week and upwards of $500 a month just doing this. And here is the key. What I want you to do is look up who the scrapyards are. Go there and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be bringing a couple of things to you guys regularly. What are some good things for me to look for? And what are some things for me to avoid? That way you're not going into it blindly. For example, my friend, he picks up water tanks sometimes on people's front yards for the trash. Other times, it seems like this spring he had been picking up a lot of grills, and I don't know how many of those he's turned in for scrap, and just all sorts of things. Chairs, you would not believe, and some of the stuff is in really good shape that people throw out. But for any one family to take their stuff to the scrapyard is a lot of work. But if you got a small truck, and you go around and you pick and choose, and then you take a load to the scrapyard and they hand you $50, that's a great little way to make some extra money. You can make extra money by actually saving extra money every single month by downsizing your car. Now, I know that here in the United States, we love our cars. And if you are past that point of infatuation with an automobile and you want to go more practical because you are more concerned now about saving or earning money, then you can downsize your car, and this is how you do it. First of all, you want to assess how much that current car you have is costing you for your payments or the total price of the car, how much you are putting in gas every week and every month, how much in repairs, how much in insurance, and how much in general upkeep. If you deem that all those expenses are relatively high and you can downsize, then this is the opportunity to do it. And you can downsize to a smaller 4-cylinder car. Now, here are two of the best cars to downsize to that are going to save you and, in effect, make you money. Those are Hondas and Toyotas. Now, the Hondas and the Toyotas that are famous for being less expensive and costing a lot less when it comes to repairs and being very inefficient and lasting a very, very long time, sometimes hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles. I know that sounds like a lot, but those are the Toyota Corollas and the Honda Civics. These will really save you a lot of money if you downsize to them. Now, you may be surprised how much a used Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla may cost because they're in high demand. People know that these are great cars. But like I said, they will last. The payoff will be months and months and years to come. Have you ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace? Well, this is the place to be and not Craigslist. Stay away from Craigslist, unless of course you already have great experience with it, or if you have a great experience with eBay. But I want you to sell things on Facebook Marketplace. And this could be items around your house, or these could be things that you have a special knowledge of that you can sell regularly and make money on the side. Now, the great thing about Facebook Marketplace is because it's a lot safer and it's very well trusted. In other words, you have to have a profile, a Facebook profile, and people can look at you and say, okay, this person seems like a decent person, so I'm going to be safe meeting up with them, and they're going to be reasonable when we make this transaction. And that's one of the greatest things about Facebook. Also, if you don't already have a Facebook account, it's the easiest thing to do. You can set up a new one, or you can even set up a fake one. In other words, if you didn't want to have your main Facebook account tied to Marketplace. But Marketplace is just a little icon on the Facebook page, and it's free. And they also have a system set up for money. If someone wants to buy something from you and you need to ship it to them, they can pay you before you ship it. And it's free and it's easy. Let me tell you a quick little story about a guy I know who's just crushing it on Facebook Marketplace, serving a special little niche. I needed a pair of golf shoes. So I go on Facebook and I found a great pair, a used pair, for a fraction of the cost. So this guy was only about 20 minutes away from me, so I go and visit him, and I buy the shoes, and I notice he has other things, and he's like, hey, if you need some golf balls or some clubs, I have access to different accessories, golf bags, and so on. And I go, really? He goes, yeah, I'm a big enthusiast, and I get a lot of things for cheap, and I resell them on Facebook Marketplace. For example, some golf balls can run you as much as $40 a dozen, and he's selling used ones for $5 a dozen, and a lot of other things too. And I go, really? I go, you're making a kind of a mini business out of it, aren't you? And he goes, yeah. I go, about how much would you say you're bringing in? And he's like, easily $500 a month, easily. I mean, the golf spikes that I bought from him were $60. And so that was a quick $60, and that was one little item. And I don't know where he's getting his things in, but Facebook Marketplace for selling items to other people, whether it's household items or specialty items that you can get your hands on, that's always a great way to make extra money. I'm sure you heard the old expression from Ben Franklin, a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, I want you to save an extra 5% of all of your income that comes in. Now, if you are already saving a percentage of your income and setting it aside, whether it is 10% or 15% or 20% of your income, that's awesome. I want you now to add on an additional 5%. For example, if you're saving 10% right now, I want you to make it 15%. And you're hardly going to miss it. In other words, 5% is $5 on every $100. For every $1,000, it's $50. But even though you'll hardly miss this, it will add up over time. And the whole thing about saving a percentage of your money is to not touch it, is to let it grow with investments, set it aside for an emergency fund, take an extra 5% on everything you make. You'll hardly notice the difference, but in the end and over the years, this will accumulate, and this will be the equivalent of making extra money every month, every year. The next thing I want you to do is to double your emergency fund. Now, hopefully you already have spare cash or reserve cash and an emergency fund, whether it is anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 or anywhere from 6 months to 1 year's worth of expenses. You have emergency funds set aside that you don't touch, and you keep that just for a big emergency. Well, I want you to double it. And what that is going to do is something that's actually very counterintuitive. You see, an emergency fund actually, once you have that set in place, it actually alters your behavior, and you are more cautious, you are less frivolous with your finances, you are more careful and you are more cognitive of your saving and your financial behavior. So a larger emergency fund, when you double it, whatever that emergency fund amount is, actually cause you to save money and spend less, and in effect, bring in extra money over the months and over the years. Another great way to secure extra money is to refinance everything. Now, refinancing doesn't always solve the problem, and it doesn't always come into play, except that we are in an historical point in time where interest rates are so incredibly low. They've never been like this. This is so unusual. So refinancing is key if you already have existing loans. For example, if you have smaller loans, you can group them together and you can refinance at a lower rate. That, in effect, will bring you in extra money to have every single month. If you already have a mortgage, a big expense, an expense on your house, then if you refinance only a small amount lower, that small amount over the years is going to affect you greatly and, in effect, be bringing in extra money for you otherwise. Okay, now that you've stuck around, it's time for the bonus. And that bonus comes in the form of Google My Business. Google My Business is an app and a setup in Google or on the internet that sets you up like a legitimate small little micro business. Now, no matter what you're doing, no matter what kind of side gig you're doing, you can go to the Google My Business app. You could put in your address, your phone number, and you're going to want to put in photos eventually, especially whatever it is that you're doing on the side and you want to promote it. And then you're going to want to ask your customers for reviews. And you don't just ask them, can you please give me a positive review? You say, can you give me a 5-star review? Because they might think that a positive review is 3 or 4 stars. Specifically say, can you give me a 5-star review? And then you send them the link. But Google My Business is a secret that small business owners do so that when anybody Googles you, searches for you, there you pop up and there's all your information. You have customer reviews, you have photos, you are legit. Also get a website. You can go to Wix. Wix will allow you to make a quick landing page for free. And it's simple. A lot of people, almost anyone, can build a website. And I mean in a very rudimentary way. And this further legitimizes your micro business. So when you are doing these side gigs, this can really double and triple your income because it gives you legitimacy and people think and know that you are serious and that you're not just a fly-by-night. And you can refer to that when you are talking to new customers. And this will allow you to get more business faster and bigger business and even charge more money. It really is a fascinating thing to see this with our society, even our global society, that people like to make extra money on the side, whether it's because they need to or they just want to. But if you liked any of these ideas, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe because we have more coming and you don't want to miss out on the new ideas coming down the line. And also leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Other than that, that's all I got. Now get back to work because money never sleeps. I'll talk to you later.